Module Overview. Land is the foundation of all agricultural activity and agribusiness ventures. Whether one is farming crops, rearing livestock, processing agricultural produce, or engaging in agricultural research and investment, land access and land rights remain central to success. However, land tenure systems are among the most complex legal areas in agribusiness, often involving competing interests, multiple legal frameworks, cultural influences, gender biases, historical injustices, environmental concerns, and power dynamics. In this advanced module, we explore the intricate legal and regulatory architecture governing land ownership, leasing, transfers, land registration, communal rights, statutory rights, and foreign access to land for agribusiness purposes. The module critically examines how these legal regimes function in both developing and developed countries, particularly within pluralistic legal environments where statutory, customary, and religious laws overlap and sometimes conflict. This module also delves into contemporary issues including land grabbing, climate driven resettlement, land degradation laws, urbanization pressure on farmland, gender access inequalities, indigenous land rights, environmental impact regulation, and land use planning. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you should be able to explain the meaning and types of land tenure systems relevant to agriculture, distinguish between statutory and customary land rights, analyze the legal procedures for land acquisition, leasing, registration, and transfer. Examine land-related conflicts and dispute resolution mechanisms in agrarian communities. Interpret national land laws, including constitutional provisions and sector-specific statutes. Understand the implications of land policy on agribusiness investment and financing. Identify legal constraints and opportunities in foreign land access and agricultural expansion. Explore gender, indigenous, and environmental rights within land law frameworks. Evaluate the role of government institutions in land administration and enforcement. What is land tenure? Definition: the system of rights and institutions governing access to and control over land. Importance in agribusiness: land as a productive asset, capital base, and source of collateral. Bundle of rights: access, use, transfer, exclusion, inheritance, etc. Types of land tenure systems: freehold, permanent and absolute ownership with rights to transfer or sell; leasehold, temporary rights under a contract, e.g., 50-year agricultural leases; customary tenure, land held under unwritten traditional systems; communal tenure, land jointly owned and used by a community or clan; public government tenure, state-owned land managed under public trust; religious tenure, land held under religious authorities or laws, e.g., waqf land. Legal frameworks governing agricultural land, constitutional guarantees of land rights, national land use acts and their implications, e.g., Nigeria's Land Use Act of 1978, land reform programs, objectives and controversies, land acquisition laws, processes for private and public acquisition, eminent domain, government acquisition for public interest, compensation, and legal challenges. Land registration and documentation, title registration systems, deeds versus title systems, legal benefits of registered titles, collateral, dispute prevention, access to credit. Challenges: bureaucracy, cost, inaccessibility, corruption. Modern systems, GIS, blockchain land registries, and land digitization. Customary and statutory land law dualism. How customary land tenure operates in rural agricultural regions. Legal recognition of traditional authorities and communal rights. Tensions and conflicts between traditional law and statutory land law. Legal pluralism and harmonization strategies. Land disputes and conflict resolution. Common causes, inheritance, boundaries, access denial, overlapping claims, resolution channels, customary courts, state courts, arbitration, mediation, land tribunals, role of evidence, land documents, witnesses, maps, community testimony. Gender and land access. Legal frameworks recognizing women's land rights, discriminatory inheritance customs and legal remedies, empowering female entrepreneurs through legal reform and advocacy. Foreign access to land and land grabbing. Large-scale land acquisitions by foreign companies or governments. Legal frameworks, investment codes, land lease regulations, due diligence. Risks: displacement of communities, environmental degradation, food sovereignty threats, calls for reform, transparency, consultation, community consent, impact assessments, land use planning and zoning laws, urban rural land use demarcations, permits for change of use, e.g., converting forest to farmland, legal restrictions on mining, grazing, wetlands, and protected zones, land and environment, soil conservation and anti degradation laws, climate smart agriculture and legal incentives for sustainable land use, reforestation mandates and penalties for illegal land clearing. Case study highlights Kenya. Implementation of the Community Land Act 2016 and its effect on pastoralists. Ghana. Tensions between stool lands and private investors. India. Women farmers' land ownership challenges despite equal inheritance rights. Brazil. Legalization of informal settlements and impact on agribusiness access to credit.